business, you do 2 of those a week and they're 2 hours each. That's 4 hours of training you create each week. I said, well, that's something that you could actually share in small bite-sized pieces in other areas. Maybe, for example, in our Crush Method group for coaches. What are you chuckling about?
So we're now broadcasting live on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes it just goes a little sideways on you and you can fight it and fall off, or you can just go sideways with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you going to do?
So long story short, the crux of that long example I was sharing was actually that Amanda's got a lot of stuff that she could put out there, live training that she's done on her own or I've done, that's been recorded, and she could share it and not always have to do just a live webinar, for example. It's something that she could share. And for whatever reason, Amanda hadn't been wanting to do that. And I'm sorry, honey, I'm going to share that I called her out on it today.
Oh, and it made me feel really violently ill.
It actually did have a physical ill effect on her. And to be clear, guys, it's not the pot calling the kettle black. I'm as guilty as the next person with wanting to be precious with stuff. But it's something that I've shared with Amanda for well over a year in this almost 2-year run, maybe closer to a year and a half. It's like, Amanda, you have some great things you've shot in the past. Why aren't you sharing those again with folks so that they can get a little sense of what you're about or what our business is about, et cetera? And for whatever reason, it's not something she's wanted to do in the past. And so today I took the challenging step of saying, so Amanda, why is it so precious that you don't want to do that?
Yeah, I mean,
what did you say?
I blurted out that it just wasn't good enough. Yeah.
And how true is
that? We're live with some coaching in our marriage. I mean,
don't sidestep that one.
I know it's not true. I know it's not true. Like a lot of the material that I've put together has helped people navigate this somewhat tricky world of, well, quite tricky world of building a business and being able to be more successful with attracting people to have conversations that lead to those client relationships. And there's just no denying, like we've got a huge stack of proof in the pudding, as we like to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It suggests that the content is very valuable, and not to mention a lot of people telling me so. So, I think sometimes we feel one way about something, and then the proof in the pudding does not necessarily substantiate what we're saying about it.
Well, it's almost like we're always the last ones to see the truth that we're wearing, because others can see it. Others can see what you're doing, what you're putting out. There are others that have gotten great progress either in their own personal performance or in their own coaching business creation or otherwise. Mm-hmm. But it can be really hard if you're wearing the shirt, for example, to realize, hey, that shirt looks really good on me, because you're not looking at it. You're looking out.
Right. And we're just kind of looking out. And I think a lot of it can sometimes come from, like, you just want to do a good job. You really you just want to do a good job, and you want to know that what you're doing matters. And I think we sometimes really stop ourselves and stymie ourselves from really taking what all we're talking about and producing and organizing it in a way that we can continue to leverage that content. I think also there's a certain amount of, I know I can always do better. So sometimes it's tempting to get on this, it's actually called the hedonic treadmill of, getting to the end of, hey, I should be happy with this. Hey, I should have been very satisfied with this work product, kind of getting there and then setting a new goal. Right. So yep. I record that training video. Now I got to do a better training video. Right. I do that email copy. Now I got to do better copy. I do that landing page. Now I got to do a better landing page. And it's like, if you're constantly raising that bar, you can actually be somewhat blind to how much work you have done. And sometimes it can, you might not leverage something that is actually really quite good.
And you know, that's a distinction I'd like to make sure people are clear on that. Amanda's not saying don't strive to do better with what you're doing. That's not what she's saying. What
Please
she's
strive
saying,
to do better, because I'm always striving to do better.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, you should do
Well,
that for
and
sure.
correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, but what I think you're saying is, though, don't lose sight of the fact that you've also done great things in the past, and those things have value and can benefit others. So
Your
there,
experience has merit. Like
yes.
whatever you have done. Hey, it's my sister Caroline. She is such a ninja. Hi, Caroline. She's on Instagram. But your experiences have merit. Like it doesn't matter how old you are or what your background is or where you got that experience from. It has merit. It has value, and it can help other people. And I
Oh,
think one of the biggest things that I had to get over when I was building my business in the first place was I really struggled with perceiving that what I had to say and what my experience was could help someone. And now what I've realized is it's almost like everybody is just climbing these mountains. We had a live video we did recently where everybody was just climbing these mountains, and sometimes you forget that everybody's got their own mountain. And you've climbed a lot of mountains that other people have not climbed, and there's value in helping people figure things out. And you can
absolutely.
become a real expert guide on the journey. And there's a lot of value in what you have to say and to offer to the world.
Yep.
And I think sometimes we get really stymied and honestly kind of centric about, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't figure it out enough, it's not enough, I didn't climb the mountain high enough, it's not a big enough mountain,
Didn't go
etc. and
fast
so
enough,
forth.
whatever it may be.
Meanwhile, back in reality, there are people that are like, I've never done that thing that you know how to do, right? And so I think staying really connected with the fact that there's always new people coming up, right? There's always people progressing. There's going to be some people that move faster up the mountain than you did. There's going to be people that do it slower. There's going to be people that just like stall out on that mountain, decide to go climb a different one.
Yep.
There's so much variety in the journeys of everybody that's going on. If we just kind of sit there and say, well, my stuff is not good enough and that's why I'm not putting into the world,
You got to get some feedback to improve it.
you gotta.
And that means you have to put it out there. And even if you don't get feedback, as you said, Amanda, there are plenty of folks out there that are not that far up the mountain yet, and it still can benefit them.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So, I mean, like if we were turning this around on you, Chris.
Oh, no, 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 wait, that's not fair. Go ahead, bring it. It's totally fair. Bring it.
Yeah. But I mean, seriously, like I think sometimes that negative self-talk can be so, so an obstacle,
Oh, sure.
right? To moving forward. So, we've been working on your presence in our sales calls.
I knew where you were going to go with this.
And you are an influential dude. Like you have a good rapport building ability with people.
Shucks.
Yes, it's that fluffy beard.
That must be
But I mean, talk to us a little bit about how maybe you've forgotten that along the way, and how that's affected your goals of becoming a sales ninja.
it. Well, to be honest, I'll put it this way, folks. Amanda is exceptionally good at some very key things in coaching business, one of which is, of course, coaching, but also at the sales process and cycle and skill set and the closing process and prospecting. And so I'll admit, for a while there, I was very resistant to getting involved in the sales cycle process because she was such a ninja, such a pro at it, and there was no way I could be as good as her. And Amanda very gently, very kindly, very lovingly said, well, you're never going to get better unless you do it. And practice. And she started off gently trying to do that for a while, and I resisted it for a while. And then a few months ago, my desire to be a good spouse said, okay, I can't let you do it all. Give me a little bit of it. So she followed my request.
Turned on the tap.
A little bit. She dripped a few things to me so I'd get started. And then a funny thing started to happen. I started saying, well, I haven't gotten any in a while. I really want some. I like that. And it's not because I was good at it. Let's be honest. I had to fail and fail big a lot to get better. And Amanda shared some wisdom at that time. She said, you know, I've talked to almost 1,000 people about coaching and coaching related skills and had 1,000 instances of practicing this cycle. You've talked to what, less than 10?
6.
When you get to 30, then we'll start worrying about, are you doing it right? So don't try and be perfect in it. Just be present. Just do it and get some experience with it. And so that kind of tried to start getting me to realize that I don't need to be so precious. I don't need to be Amanda climbing the mountain she's on. I need to start on this mountain over here. That's the beginner's mountain. But I got to start up the mountain. And if I don't start, I'll never get anywhere.
It's the bunny hill, right?
Yes.
You got to go bunny hill before you can do the black diamond.
That's right. I'm not doing the double black diamond right now. I'm doing the bunny slope, okay?
Oh, I love that so
And as
much.
I got better and better on each of those slopes, Amanda would up the ante a little bit. I'd share my experience and things, or I'd want to up the ante because now I'm doing the bunny slope. Now I want to do a little more. So that's how this process works. And you know, I had to get past my realization that, hey, I wasn't a ninja like Amanda was at this. I wasn't great at it
Yet.
but I had to get the experience and be okay not being great, and even skinning my knees and sliding back down the mountain in this example, down the bunny slope. But once I got my feet under me, I'd be able to do better and better the more I did. And so absolutely had to get past being precious about, I'm not going to be great yet, and realize, all right, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. At least go get good.
Go get good. Yeah, exactly. And we were joking just yesterday. I'm like, you know, Chris, I can't wait until you embrace this process so much that you just start to really dial it in and you just take your talents, your strengths, and you apply it in sales. And I can't wait for the day when I go to offer you some advice and then you remind me that, honey, my close rate is about 20% higher than yours, Amanda. I think I know what I'm doing. Hun, just do you. I got this. Like, I can't wait for that. I want to get shut down.
We're not there yet.
Good.
But did you see that positivity she threw my way there? That was pretty awesome.
Well, but that's how it works, right? Because like, seriously, the very first conversations that I had around like, hey, I'm a coach and hey, you know, this is my business and this is my thing. Like, we're just going to go ahead and call it what it was. A dumpster fire. Like, they were bad. They were bad, man. And like, when I say bad, I mean, like, I was sweating profusely. I started speaking gibberish. I like not even a different language, like completely nonsense. I was so worried. I forgot to say things all the time. I over-explained myself. I got into the defensive. I had the wrong tone. I had the wrong pitch. I had the wrong, like all the
lessons.
So many lessons crammed into every experience. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes like we do get so precious about trying new things. And when I say being precious, it's like, you know, I'm a perfectionist, or, you know, I already have accomplished, blah, 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 blah. You know, I climbed that mountain over there. Doesn't that mean that I'm already super important and I can't possibly climb this other mountain? And the thing is that I had to do that too. I heard this the other day and I cannot even remember where I heard it because I've been reading a lot of books lately, but it was basically like, you got to stop hugging the top of this mountain to climb the next one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was like, boom, you know, uppercut to the jaw. Yep. Because I realized that even very, very recently, there's been a big process of this letting go of who I was to become who I want to be. Right.
Oh,
and letting go of like, oh, Amanda, the strategy consultant. And, like just, I I had this whole aesthetic and this whole identity wrapped around my old job.
Yep.
Because I had climbed a mountain with that. Like I had been dedicated, been really focused, did the work, stay focused, was obsessed with high performance. And like I went through all those paces, right? And so then when I went to become a beginner again as an entrepreneur and as a coach and as like I'd been coaching people in my prior life a bit, but I wasn't doing it full time. I was doing it maybe 10% of the time. So this permission to be a beginner and
everything that means.
And everything that means, and let go of, yes, you achieved something in the past, right? Good for you. That was then. This is your new future. And you can take some of the gems that you got from along the way. You can carry those forward with you, but it doesn't absolve you of the journey and the messiness of learning how to do all these things fresh. Hey,
it doesn't mean you don't have to start at the base of the mountain climb. You still have to start there. You just get to start it with new skills and our new tools or new experiences that help you go faster. But you still got to start there.
Exactly. I actually, long before I started my business, I started a blog, and the blog was one of those ones that was like written and it was on WordPress, and I was sharing content about every week, and it was talking about life balance and being a strategy consultant and being a mom. And it showed you, 6 weeks to party planning without any headache or fuss. And I had worked out this whole process about exactly how to do a birthday party with like 30 minutes or less of effort leading up to it, that it ended up looking like this total Martha Stewart experience, and you don't lose your mind at all. And, so I had stuff like that on my blog, and I was thinking fully for a year before I did it, I really should do video. And I was precious about it. I was like, but I'm going to be bad at video. I'm going to look ugly on video. I'm going to be too fat. I'm going to stumble over my words. My lighting's going to be wrong. I have the wrong equipment. I don't know what to say. I have no idea. Right. And I was just like this total mess about it. So for a year, I didn't do the stupid video blog. And you want to know something? If you go to amandaKaufman.net and you scroll all the way back to the very beginning of my blog, I've left it up there because it's such a great reminder of what it looks like to be a mess on video with bad lighting. And if you listen really hard, you can hear my like 4-day-old baby squeak because he's off camera, but I'm doing it and I'm there and I'm showing up and I'm doing the thing. And like, it's not going to win an Emmy. It's actually kind of painful to watch. But the thing is that started a weekly practice of being on video.
That's right.
And publishing it and writing the emails that go with it and, writing all the other copy that goes with it. And, eventually it led to this show, The Daily Show, right? That years ago, because I was so precious about being on video, I didn't want to go on video, and I think I'm pretty good now.
I was going to say, now here you are, and you're very comfortable in video. You're very engaging, and
I can do better, right? I can get better equipment. I might be able to play with some angles, maybe get some different backgrounds going. Like, there's things that can be done for sure.
Now you do it daily as well. It's not just once a week; it's daily,
every day. And even if I look at our videos from January, Chris, to now, like, holy difference, Toledo.
Hey, you got to get comfortable. I had to get comfortable with it. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't have your experience at that point.
Yeah.
I still don't have your experience, but I'm getting my own.
Well, you don't, but you do, right? Because we also kind of collaborate and build on each other. And your observation of me kind of struggle busing is allowing you to kind of that accelerated path on the struggle bus.
There you go. Well, that's the benefit.
You struggle buses. I have to go and present on how to get off the struggle bus when it comes to finding your next amazing client. So I'm going to go and like get my game face on and go and do that. I think you've got to call Chris. We want to see you tomorrow live live on Facebook, YouTube. I don't even know where we're going to be, but we're going to be live tomorrow with the Crush Method Daily Show at 12:30. You're going to see Chris and Chris alone because I am spending the day with one of my most amazing private clients. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow on the Crush Method Daily Show.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.